What's up, guys? Alright, so I wanted to do this video real quick before I had to head out for work. Alright, so I got this topic idea from a friend of mine who suggested doing a video after, what did she say? She suggested a video on my work history, now that I've had chest surgery and then I've been on hormones for a while and that wonderful stuff. And, how has my work history been now that it's been a few years later? Um, my perspective on it is my work history from being trans in the workplace from my perspective has been relatively interesting. I have not, let's say I take that back, I have had one job where forget I've had one job where a supervisor tried to tell me that I was not a man because my paperwork that I had, like, they had to use my ID to put in for the payroll for the system and shit like that, because it was a temporary job, so they had to use my ID to do all the information, and they wrote down, all the information that was on my ID and stuff like that, and because I didn't have surgery at the time, so I couldn't have my gender marker changed or anything like that, so everything said female except for my name. My name was legally Jesse, but I can. But the gender marker was still female, and I think the battery needs to be changed. Anyway, shit. So that's my train of thought. Oh, supervisor. So I had one supervisor that I worked under one day. It was a temporary construction job, and it was one supervisor that I was working under one day, and I guess he couldn't tell just from looking at me, but when he was trying to divide up the people for what jobs to do, he asked me male or female, and I thought that was a little strange, but I said male because I'm a man. I assumed that's what he was referring to, and so he gave me a job taking off, tearing down some molded sheetrock and drywall and all that wonderful stuff, and so I was tearing it down and putting it into bags, and he gave the other like two or three ladies that were on our little team of workers. He gave the other workers uh, sweeping and mopping, and I think he gave one girl the job to take the sheetrock and put it into garbage bags after I've torn it down. And then it was either before or after my lunch break. He pulled me aside and he's like, "So why did you say male? Or why'd you tell me you're a man when your paperwork says you're a woman?" And I told him that's because I am a man. This is how I live my life. I mean, this is who I am. And he's like, God made you a woman. That's how you live. That's how you should live your life, as a woman, not a man. And I was like, well, this is who I am, regardless of what you may think, regardless of what your God may think. This is who I am, and this is how I'm gonna live my life. And so I proceeded on to continue on doing the job that he assigned me that day, and yeah, so that was pretty much the only issue in the workplace that I've had regarding me being trans. But so far, every job that I've had, from doing like a babysitting nanny type job to working as a, I don't know how to describe it. I was working at a youth center teen hangout place, and then I was working as under a movie theater. I hated that job. and not because of how they treated me, just because the job itself sucks. Um, so if you ever get a job working at a movie theater, in my opinion, don't do it. It's not worth it. At least not the one I was working at. And then I did with another job I did. I can't think of it at the top of my head, but I currently now work at a excuse me, at a shit. What is it? Grocery store. Wow, totally couldn't think for a second. Yeah, I currently work at a grocery store. There were people that I was working at, a couple of friends of mine that did know that that were working there. One left, and I think the other went back to school. I can't remember. Um, and now one of my coworkers, I guess more like a supervisor, I guess. Um, she, I told her Monday. Yeah, I told her on Monday, and she was completely shocked. She had no idea. But she was totally chill with it. Like, she said it didn't change anything. So I was completely surprised by her reaction, but at the same time, I was relieved. I was glad that she was okay with it, because some people aren't so open-minded. And some people, like, a lot of times they won't believe me. If I told them, like, she didn't really believe me at first when I told her, I told her, like, I showed her my scars, because I didn't really know any other way to show her. It's like I could have, but I think that'd been a little too much just to drop my pants. But like, but no, I showed her. Lifted up my shirt and showed her my chest and scars and everything, and she was just shocked by it. She was cool with it, but she was just shocked. And she was asking questions when I showed her pictures and shit like that. And she's like, "Wow," and yeah, like, it's not. Some people are, not always open minded. So it's not that I don't expect people to be open minded, but at the same time, I don't. I'm not like. I don't expect people to not be okay with it. Like, I don't expect anything really, except for people to be, accepting. That's something. That's not. That's a plus, but I don't expect everybody to be, so accepting, because I know a few people who aren't so keen on it and would probably rather have me dead than alive, but that's their problem. Um, or would rather have me be miserable and live life as a female than be a man. But that's their problem, not mine. So anyway, you know, so it's not something I hide. So, but at the same time, it's not something I go around parading about. You know what I mean? I'm not. I mean, I'm proud to be trans, and it's something I'm proud about. Something I do try to educate people on. It's something I, take pride in. But it's not something I, just put on full blast every day or whatever. It depends on the situation. So, some days, I'm cool with, people knowing. I don't mind if people know, but at the same time, it's like, I do take cautions on who I tell. I do take cautions on where I talk about it. And, whatever, it's just like, because there are places and people that, trans people get hurt or killed. So it's just, I do take cautions on how open I am about it. So, but at the same time, I'm not. It's not something I'm hiding. So, my stealth, not really. Is it something I hide? Not really. So, it just depends on the situation. So yeah, that's pretty much my work history. My take on being trans in the workplace. Generally every job that I've had, at least one or three people knew. I did do like a babysitter nanny type job where I worked for a family friend, and all of them knew. They know me since I was like 10. So yeah, it just depends on, you know the job, who I know. Yeah. For me, relatively pretty easy, going jobs that I've done and where people knew. Excuse me. So yeah, so far, being changed in the workplace from my perspective has been pretty good, pretty interesting. Yeah, that's all I got to say on that. Questions, comments, hit me up. I'll catch y'all later. All right, peace.